So now that we've mastered numbers, we've started talking about ages. Today I'm going to show you some new vocabulary in the talking about ages unit. The first is the word jinnian. Jinnian means this year. Jin means present, nian means year. I don't know if this meme is going to be relevant as long as I use this movie, but if anyone remembers the nian cat, if you don't ask me and I'll show you the link, is a good way to remember how to pronounce year. Nian, jinnian. Jinnian means this year. We've learned how to ask how old are you by saying ni ji sui. The textbook wants you to add the words this year. How old are you this year? So we're going to say you this year how old? Ni jinnian ji sui. I'll say it, then you say it to yourself. 你今年几岁? It's kind of a foolish thing to add because when we ask, how old are you, we don't mean how old were you last year, how old will you be? We obviously mean how old are you this year. But it's good to learn new vocabulary, so we'll say it one more time. 你今年几岁? The other word we need to learn besides 今年 is liang. Now you're going to be really angry about this, I promise. We've learned how to count to 10, and we learned a word for 2, right? Well, surprise, Chinese has 2 words for the number 2. So in addition to knowing er, you have to know a second word, liang. 2 words for 2. Er is used for counting, like when we say 1, 2, 3, 4. Liang is for saying how many of something there are. So here there are 2 dogs. The Chinese person would say 1, 2. There are liang dogs. When they're counting, they say er. When they're saying how many there are, they'd use liang. We also use liang to say 2 years old, which is why we're learning it this unit. So to say, how old is she? She is 2 years old. We would say 她几岁? 她2岁. If you're curious, you won't have to know this for this unit, but other places where we use er versus liang. To say 20, we use 20, right? But to say 200, we usually use liang, like 200. 200. We use er when we're saying things like dates, addresses, room numbers, phone numbers, and anything that is not an amount. We use liang for anything that is an amount. So we would say $2, 2块. 2 bananas, 2个香蕉. And 2 hipsters, 2个潮人, according to Google Translate. Now we need to learn the character for liang. What does the character look like to you? Take a minute to think about it. By coming up with something in your head, you will memorize the character better. To me, the character looks like 2 people hanging on the gallows. Enjoy your life!